Hey guys, and welcome to The Sims 4. You'll notice that we're in Strangerville today, which might be a little strange. But I received a suggestion to build a bunker in The Sims 4. So that's what we're doing today, and when I think of a bunker, I think of Strangerville. That is why I picked this lot in this world. So you're gonna start seeing me build something really small. I wanted to go for kind of like the shack look, something very small on top that's just kind of like open up to a bigger bunker below where the person will actually live. Because you'll see a little further in the video that the first floor, like the ground floor, kind of looks like a wreck. Almost like a storage unit of some kind. It kind of looks like something that nobody lives in, which is kind of what I was going for. I kind of wanted the outside to appear as though nobody really lived there. And now you'll see me transition into kind of like the landscaping of this build. I wanted to add a bunch of different weeds and plants and trees and kind of just some random stuff in there too. Again, to give it kind of like that almost abandoned look, but not quite abandoned, if that makes sense. I don't really know why, but for some reason, I tend to have a difficult time with landscaping. There are some simmers that do an amazing job at landscaping, and I don't understand how they have such a keen eye for it, because me, I do not. I feel like I've gotten better with landscaping over the years, especially because normally I don't do any landscaping, but recently I've been really trying to focus on improving that. So my landscaping skills are a work in progress. I feel like I probably could have made it look even more abandoned, but I just don't really know how to do that. So in this spot here, I just felt like it was very empty. So I thought maybe like a nice little pond could be useful. It would be a good space filler, and I think that maybe your sim could actually use the water from that pond, even though it's murky. But I think they'd be able to use it for like their sink and their bath water and stuff. So I guess in a way it kind of has multiple purposes. Now that I'm thinking about it, I could have made it a fishing spot so that they could have caught fish there too. That would have been fun. Then that could build up their fun and they could catch fish and, I don't know, have another hobby to do on their little land. Whatever they want to do. Alright, moving on to the inside, just adding some floor and some walls. Again, I kind of wanted to give it kind of like that little older, rustic, abandoned type of feel. So you'll see that I used some slats that looked beat up on the walls. Usually when I start building, I am that person that immediately lights up every single room in my build. That way I can see what I'm doing. However, in this build specifically, I wanted it to be functional off the grid. So that means I can't really use electric lights because we're not going to really have much electricity to keep it going. So you'll notice that throughout this build, a lot of the lighting, or all of the lighting actually, is going to come from some sort of candle, which yes, means that the build's going to be a little bit dark, but I mean, it is a bunker, so what else do you expect? And two, hey, at least your Sims bills are not going to be super crazy high because you're not constantly using a ton of electricity. Because I don't know about you, but when I play Sims, I select to have my house lights on at all times so I can see what's going on. So again, here I am just, working on the inside. There I am adding a little bit of lighting so you can somewhat see inside of there. For this little area, I'm just trying to make it look kind of like a storage room. You'll see kind of like antique looking items like the dresser and the desk. Just everything is just kind of shoved into the sides of that room. And now we're starting on the bunker portion, the underground portion of this build. So here I'm just trying to figure out the floor plan, determining how I want the space to flow. And like I said, I normally light up my area very first thing, so you'll see me trying to play with some of these candles so that I can have some light so I can see what I'm doing, at least a little bit. So this is not where those lights are going to go officially, but they're there for now. I'm about to start working on the flooring and the wallpaper, I believe, for this build. Again, I wanted to keep it kind of like simple looking, and I wanted to keep it like, I don't know how to explain how I wanted it to feel. I guess maybe a little rustic in a way, but like not rustic at the same time, if that makes sense. I don't know. I'm just thinking underground. So I guess I want it to feel like underground. So the first room I'm working on here is the bathroom. I was able to fit both a bathtub and a shower in the bathroom, along with, of course, the sink and the toilet. And again, all 4 of those items are functional off the grid. Oh, there we go. I added the wallpaper now. I wanted to go with brick because underground, it's kind of like a underground foundation, I would think. So brick just made sense to me. And then I added just a couple of little wall candles to the bathroom just to light up that space a little bit. So now we're going to move on to, oh, just kidding. I found the water catcher and I was like, oh, you know what? I'm actually going to need this. If we're having a functional off-the-grid bathroom, we're definitely going to need a water catcher. So I wanted to throw that up there. Now we're moving on to the kitchen. So I wanted to start with gathering all of the appliances, again, making sure that the appliances I'm using are functional off the grid. You'll see that I put that cooler down, but later I do remove it because it just didn't go with like the color scheme of this build. It was just kind of like an eyesore to me, so I just got rid of it. This build turned out to be very brown and like dark reddy oranges like the brick, which is different for me. I'm somebody who really builds a lot with like blues and pinks and purples. So to build something that looked like this was really different for me. It was stepping out of my comfort zone, but I think it actually turns out kind of cool. Now I have all of the counters, all the base counters selected and laid out. So now I'm going to be adding the top cabinetry, which is something that I typically don't add in my builds because I have a lot of fun with windows normally. So I don't really have space for the cabinetry in kitchens. However, since we're underground and we don't have windows, I was able to put cabinetry up. Yay! And here I just found this box item, like the crates. I liked that, but I liked it for upstairs. And now I'm just adding a couple of accessories and, things to fill up space, make it look a little more lived in. And I wanted to add a little dining area for the Sims to sit and eat so they can enjoy their little underground meals. I also like the little chandelier that I put above the dining table. I think it's a nice little touch. And I believe for now that the kitchen is finished, so now we're going to move on to the little bedroom. In my mind, only 1, maybe 2 Sims live here. So there was only 1 bedroom in this house. And again, I stuck with more of the wooden theme, like the dark wooden theme. So that bed is really cool. It has the wooden, it looks handmade, the wooden backboard there. And just some end tables to put lighting on because you're gonna need some lighting in the bedroom. But we can't use overhead lighting because it's not functional off the grid. But moving on to kind of like the hallway slash, just kidding. I found another item that I thought would go great in the upstairs area. That's one thing you'll notice. The first floor kind of goes through quite a bit of transformation as I find different items that I thought would go well up there. If I think about how the ground floor looks in the beginning to how it looks in the end, I definitely prefer how it looks in the end. I think it looks so much better and so much more cluttered, which in this case is good. That's what I wanted. And here I am trying to use that bathtub item, the bathtub plant item, but I never know where to use it. I've still to this day have not used it because I don't know where it fits in. But now I'm working on the living room. Usually in a living room I would put a TV, but this house is functional off the grid, so we can't really have a TV. So that's why I just kind of put a training dummy in that room instead. I was like, here you go, here's something to do. Something to spend your days doing, along with why the woodworking table is off to the left side there, which also I liked the idea of the woodworking table because, again, like I said, there's a lot of wood-based items. So I'd like to think that maybe they even built that bathtub themselves. Maybe they built those chairs at the chess table by themselves. You get what I mean? I just felt like it made sense. It was a good skill item to have in this build. Now I'm going around and I'm just trying to add a couple of things on the walls to make them look less bare. Again, sticking to a lot of wood-based items. This wall was so blank. With the lack of windows, there's just so much more wall that needs to be covered. Oh, here I am. I found another item that I thought would be good to go upstairs. But anyway, there's just so much wall space. If you don't have windows taking up the space, you're like, what do I do with all of this? So it actually was kind of nice because I could use really big wall items that I don't typically get to use or even think about just because the wall is usually covered in windows. Oh, there's my favorite item, that little pot there that I just stuck in the kitchen. That's been my new favorite item lately, and I have been putting it in every single build, no matter what. Let's see, what am I doing now? Adding a few more lights around the place, and I think I'm trying to figure out what other skill items could go in this build, but I just wasn't having any luck, and so I was like, it's alright, I'll just add some rugs instead, because rugs are nice, and rugs make the room feel more complete, in my opinion. Hey, I remembered to add a smoke detector to the build. Woohoo, points for me! And then I wanted to add all of these little like patches into the wall because I kind of thought that that would give it the underground feel, you know, like, hey, this bunker's been here a while kind of look to it. I think it adds a lot of character to this build. Now I'm just kind of like looking around, seeing if there's anything else that I would like to add to this build, but I think it's complete. Here it is, the final bunker. Here is the outside. It just kind of looks like a little, I don't know, shack of some kind. It's got different little knickknacks around. Oops, I didn't mean to click that. With some murky water in the background. The only kind of like subtle hint that maybe somebody is living here is the fact that there's a water catcher and some windmills to collect energy. But from the outside, it doesn't look like anything spectacular. And when you first walk in, it's kind of like, oh wow, this place is a mess. Like, it looks like a storage unit almost, like just a bunch of things cluttered around here. But anyway, let's move down into the actual bunker. You come in through the stairs, and this is completely functional off the grid, so everything here is lit up by some sort of candle. Here is the kitchen. We've got a little dining area and all of the appliances, and these appliances are all functional off the grid. You just have to collect your own resources to power them. Nice simple little kitchen there. Over here is the simple bathroom. Again, you have to collect your own resources to get this stuff going. That's kind of why the water catcher is outside, because you have to collect your own water to take baths and use the toilet and stuff like that. The bedroom is pretty simple as well. I know it's very dark down here, but it's kind of going to be dark because you don't really have any windows when you're underground. But here's just kind of like the little skill building area. We've got woodworking and logic, and a bookcase here as well. And then a little fighting dummy, a couch to chill on. And I thought that this was quite interesting to have like shadow boxes of regular things. Maybe this person thinks that these things are going to become valuable one day. Who knows? But yeah, a pretty simple little build. I think that a person could live down here for a while. So let me know what you think of this build, and if you have any other ideas of what kind of things I should build in The Sims, just let me know in the comments below. But I really do hope that you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please leave a like and subscribe if you have not already. I really hope that you have a great day, and I will talk to you later. Bye!